Hey guys, I just wanted to talk about granular synthesis a little bit today and why I think companies should make more granular synths now, especially now that we have wavetable synthesizers like Serum and Faceplant, which came out recently, Massive X. I just feel like we're at a point where it's really hard to innovate within the wavetable synthesis or synthesizer spectrum, just because we've had so many of them now, and we had some really amazing ones. Like Serum was amazing because it showed you what it does exactly to the waveform. It was a very visual plugin and it had a lot of crazy wavetables, and you could import your own ones. So it's already at a point where we're like kind of at the maximum of how companies can innovate. Like we've seen it with Massive X recently. It's not really like a crazy step because Serum already did everything in a way. And then we got Faceplant right before Massive X, which is kind of another step towards the modular thing, kind of like implementing the modular element into the wavetable synthesis, which Massive X tried to do as well, but I think it's better in Faceplant personally. But yeah, the problem with wavetable synthesis is that I feel like it doesn't allow me to go as far as I would like to with my sound design. I always kind of reach like the limitations of it, and I always feel like there are already so many tutorials out there where people are recreating sounds from other people and stuff like that, and I just kind of want to make my sound more unique, and that's where granular synthesis comes in my opinion. Because it kind of allows you to take what you have, like a Serum synth or whatever, import it into there and take it like to the next level. And the way it works is it basically takes your sample, splits it into small bits, which are called the grains, and then you can control those grains. You have control over how they're played back, and yeah, then it plays it back basically in a different way. And the control you have is like the length of the grains. You can control the pitch of the grains, the shape, like you can have like a more round grain where it has like a very soft attack and release, or just like square grains. You can also control the speed of the grains, like how fast that part of the sample should be played back, and then also the position where it should sample that grain from the original sample. Yeah, it's just kind of something that you have to try out in order to understand exactly what it does and how it sounds on your sound. Some examples for some existing granular synthesizers are Form, Quanta, and a few other ones for Reactor like Grain Cloud. In Reason there's one called Grain that is pretty amazing. In FL Studio you have your Fruity Granulizer that I know a lot of dubstep producers use. So there are quite a few options on the market, but I feel like they're not as developed as Serum is, for example, in the wavetable market. So I just wish a company would come up with something that is on the same level, you know, that kind of revolutionizes the grain table or granular synthesis the same way Serum did. For example, like with the modulation curves that you could draw in yourself and things like that. The visual aspect of it, the way you can control it. And I think some of them get really close to that already. Like Form is a really amazing plugin. I just wish that it had more, it would give us more control over the single grains. And Quanta is really amazing. It's just always that I feel like there's something missing to be like the perfect one. So I'm kind of waiting for a company to make the perfect one. Another problem with them right now is that a lot of them are kind of targeted at making pads and textures where you have like a lot of grains layered with like very lush reverbs and long sounds and stuff like that, which I think they're great for. But at the same time, I wish there was one that was targeted more at that like experimental bass sound design kind of thing that we do in dubstep a lot. Some of them have like a very outdated look because they're very old, or they're made with like a framework like Reactor where it doesn't have a very modern interface. But so far, if you want to check out granular synthesis, I think my recommendations would be Quanta by Audio Damage and Form by Native Instruments. Both are like $100. They're still not perfect, but I think it's a very good way right now to yeah, take your sounds to the next level, make them more unique, make them hard to recreate, and just go crazy, go experimental. And I'll have some more videos about granular stuff as well, maybe a video about Form, so let me know in the comments if you would be interested in that. And yeah, thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you in the next video.